Hello everyone, this is Debbie from the Inspiration Station. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a layout share for you with some of the layouts that I've created over the past couple of months. This first one is inspired by a layout from Jess Forrester and the SCT Holiday Paper Crafting event. I used Echo Park papers and stickers, and these die cuts are actually from Recollections. They were a Michael's pack that I picked up probably 2 years ago. I also used some stamps from Ellie Studio, the date stamp and these word stamps to add my little journaling to it. This next one is Halloween of 2021. I had been putting this off because for a little child, for a toddler, you usually use really bright colors for Halloween, but the photos were taken at night and his costume was in browns and dark. He was a little gizmo from oh gosh, what were those little creatures called? You know what I'm talking about, and it's completely slipped my mind. But anyway, he was Gizmo. I used Elizabeth Craft Designs die and some Cricut cuts, and then I used glossy accents on the spider that I cut from a Impression Obsession die. The background is also pre-made from Vicky Boutin, and I used a couple of ink splatters just to bring the brown in, to bring in the brown from his costume. These are two of my little grandsons. These were the two I had at the time when I made this page. This page is inspired by Victoria Calvin. This was another SCT delivered event. This was the fall of 2022. I changed it up. I don't remember exactly what her page was, but I think it was a half and half. I think she did 2 different pattern papers. And this one I just did the single paper and used a lot of the embellishments. This is all Pink Fresh Studio. This is their fall line. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry. Apparently my brain is not working today and I can't remember things. There's some enamel dots in there too, and the gold puffy hearts are Jen Hadfield, I believe. This is another Vicky Boutin pre-made background paper. I loved the colors and the gold in this for my Disney photos. We did get to visit Disney during their 50th anniversary celebration, and I didn't really want to do a whole lot of embellishing on it, but I did add my Mickeys, and I actually used stamping and embossing to put the date on, which I haven't done in forever. These are Tim Holtz dies. I think these were 2. The numbers may not have been, but I'm not positive. And then, of course, my Mickey Head Confetti Punch, which is from EK Success. This page is not inspired by anybody. It was inspired by the fact that some girl came and T-boned my car back in December. Wasn't happy about that at all. I really loved my Volkswagen, but the insurance company totaled it out, so I ended up getting a new Subaru. And I liked the idea of, oh, that's not glued down, the places you go. And I saw this Detour chipboard, which was, I believe, crepe paper from years ago. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a detour. Hadn't planned on. And then this little sticker here, I don't remember where that came from, but it was a phrase sticker. It says, if I don't laugh, I'll probably cry, which was very true. Like I said, I loved my Volkswagen. The Subaru is really nice, but I miss her. I miss my Volkswagen. This is my newest grandson, Grayson. He was born on February 1st, and I just love the soft colors. I actually used an SCT sampler, I believe it was January or February, that had the die, the Lots of Love die. This was the stencil that was included in the kit. This card was an old crepe paper one. This is from Heidi Swap. I used Fisker's Punch for the heart, and then I had to cut the larger heart on the Cricut because I didn't have a larger heart. And then I used a border punch. I believe that's EK Success, the scallop border. The letters here are from Thicker's American Crafts, And these here are the new Doodlebug letters. They come in beautiful colors. I absolutely love them. And the stamp that I used for the label is Ellie Studio. This is now my middle grandson. He was the youngest at the time. My daughter sent me this picture, and I immediately thought of Jack Jack from the Incredibles movie. And I thought he was so cute. I had to do the comparison. And then I used the title, You Are Incredible. Used the superhero stickers and paper from Echo Park, because I can't imagine when I would use superhero stuff ever again. And then I cut some tags here. Used a Sizzix die for the stars. I did a little bit of splattering. This border here is the Drippy Goo Punch by EK Success, which I haven't used in forever, but I thought, you know, little boy, messy, I had the splatters going on, and I really wanted to bring in this darker blue that I had used on the tag, so I just added that on. The brick paper is P13, which I absolutely love, and I used that because if you've ever been to Disney World anyway, in Hollywood Studios, they have a brick wall with a black outline where Jack Jack ran through it, and it was really cute, so it reminded me of that. So I love this page. I just think it's so cute, and it's so different from what I would normally do. This one I absolutely love. This is a scrap lift of Allison Davis. She did a sketch and a layout using these 1-inch squares and then the stitching all around. I absolutely loved it. The paper is Cartabella, Gather at Home, I think is the title of the collection. And this was the day that they brought my newest grandson home, and of course Big Brother, meeting him at home. So I loved it. I love the softness of the grayish wood grain, the color palette. This has always been one of my favorite color palettes. And I thought Allison did such a great job with the sketch on it. I did cut the heart on my Cricut, and then I built the page on a piece of white cardstock. I built the heart and then layered that heart over it. So this is one of my favorites that I've done. This page is inspired by Paige Evans. This was, I believe, the Pink Fresh fall event. She did hers with all these pinks and oranges. It was absolutely beautiful, but again, I have 3 grandsons, so I wasn't going to use a lot of pink, but I wasn't averse to it, but I did end up using other Pink Fresh lines to bring in some of the blue and the gray, and then I did use the chrysanthemum washi tape and dies to cut out the flowers there. This is another Allison Davis sketch. This is actually a 2-page spread. Hopefully I can get it all in the, just barely make it in the camera. Oops, line it up here. This is my oldest grandson getting a haircut that was way overdue. For some reason, when he had his first haircut, he wasn't thrilled. We think it was the cape. We think that the hair on the back of his neck was itchy or something, but he refused to get a haircut for about 1.5 years. So we've got him with the before, and then his after. He looks like 2 separate little boys. But I absolutely loved all of these little process photos that his mom took. And this one here, I mean, just look at that little face. Isn't that the cutest little face? I love it. And I was able to pull out some old, I don't know if it was Echo Park or Cartabella, it may have been Cartabella, little boy papers. And there just happened to be a barbershop sticker on there, which, who knew? These stamps, I love them. These are from Ellie Studio. And I used some Alpha stickers. The Such a Good Guy was a sticker also from that same, I think it was called Petticoats and Pinstripes. It was a really old line. And then I used star punches over here, which matched the Simple Stories paper. So this was a collection of really old papers. This paper here and this one. Do you remember Rusty Pickle? Yeah, those are Rusty Pickle. And this one was Authentique. This is Simple Stories. I don't remember who the solids were. They probably went with that Petticoats and Pinstripes, but, and this stripe here, I believe, was a photo play. But yeah, just lots of stash busting on this one, and I was so happy with how it came out. This one, the page sat for about 1.5 years. This is an older, just drew a blank. Cocoa Vanilla, that's the one I'm looking for. It's Cocoa Vanilla paper, and I absolutely loved it. It was a pre-printed wreath, and I had mounted it on the stripe paper, and that's as far as it got. It sat there for about 1.5 years. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. But my daughter sent me this selfie that she took with my grandson, and he looks like he's photobombing the picture. He's just so flippin' cute. And I had to use that. So I ended up taking a pattern paper, gosh, why are words so hard today? Cocoa Vanilla floral paper, and I did a whole bunch of fussy cutting with it. And I layered it on top of the existing wreath, added some word stickers, some phrase stickers, and then this little camera was from Simple Stories. It was from one of their collections. So I added that on, added a little bit of gems, and I did use a Tim Holtz die. It's kind of hard to see in there because it's gray. It kind of blends in. But I needed something else to fill in these little spots. So I had this Colorize. It was one of his floral dies. So I did that out of the gray. And I really like the way this one came out as well. And same little guy, same day, actually. He's just so cute. What can I say? He was out sitting with his dog on the porch. This was the first nice day of weather that we had this spring. It may have been the tail end of winter. I don't remember. But it was the first day that he could get out and actually be in the yard. And I loved this photo that she took where he looks like he's just ready to take off on an adventure. So I found this card. I believe that it is from Allie Edwards. It could be from Ellie's Studio. Honestly, I don't know. It was in a pile of cards that a friend had given me when she was destashing. But the background is a cut file from SCT, their May 2020 or 2021. I think it was 2021 issue. And Natalie D'Souza took that cut file, which is actually, it was a full page. This square was supposed to be a full page, and she reduced it in size down to about 5 inches and put 2 of them and then did this type of thing. Her page, I think she had going in this direction, and she had her photos over here. But she definitely inspired me with this, and the orange color with the teal shirt was the whole inspiration for the color scheme. And so again, stash diving, these are a bunch of different paper pads. I couldn't even tell you who they're from. I think this was Queen and Company. I think there's some crate paper on there. This may have been Illustrated Faith, or who's their partner company that I always forget? Bella Boulevard. So there's a lot of different manufacturers in the paper, but the color scheme was definitely inspired by this card and his little shirt. So that's all I have for layouts, but I did want to share one more project that I'm working on. And this is from, there was a class on YouTube. I have to find her name. Heba El-Sabai. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. She's My Little Journal on YouTube. And she created a class called the Scrappy Spiral Notebook. And it's using this Mochi Things notebook, which has all these pre-printed grids, a layout for you. It's intended to be a notebook, but it also can be used as a scrapbook. And so the pages are the same. All the left side and all the right side are identical. And she did a whole class on making the photos that size and how she uses it, using stamps and journaling and things like that, stickers. And I really liked it. She showed how to replace the spine, the spiral on it, to make it a little bit bigger, because as you add things, you can see I've only done a few pages in it, and it's getting kind of chunky already. So I'm probably going to have to make this one a little bit bigger again, but we'll worry about that a little further down the road. So I did cover the cover. I used a 6x8 print that came out of one of my happy planners. I think it was one of the divider pages, and I just cut it down so that it fit on the front. And I will cover this page too, this title page. I haven't figured out what's going to go here yet. because I'm not necessarily doing it for the year of 2023. My first page is actually that car accident on 2022. And then there's really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing in this. Photos that I have on my phone, just random photos that kind of go together. I'm kind of curating the pages as I go. So my grandson ended up with some chickens. There's a whole story behind that that is on a regular scrapbook page, a traditional scrapbook page. But I just wanted to put him with his chickens. He calls them chichens. They're Papa's chichens because Papa brought them to him. And all of his eggs that he's collected and how he brought the eggs to us one day in a Dunkin' Donuts Munchkin box because that was the only container he had. So really had fun with that. This is my middle grandson. Just a whole bunch of random pictures that I had on my phone again. And, you know, I just loved it. Then I have some day trips that friends and I took. I'm probably not going to do a full scrapbook page on this. We had a little side trip to the Pez factory, which was unplanned. We saw the sign on the side of the road, decided we were going to stop. It was a little fun trip. It's not something I'm going to scrapbook necessarily, but it's in here. It's documented. And then my newest grandson, I've got some pictures that were taken when I got to visit him at his house. Our first snow day, which didn't come until February 28th. And I actually had a misprint here, I noticed. I'll fix that with a pen. I don't know why I said the 29th, you know, typos. In the spring colors, some of the flowers coming up in the yard. This one will have its own double page spread in our scrapbooks. These are some of the contact prints or proofs from a photo shoot that he had done. So I'm just doing random things, anything that I just feel, you know, I want to remember, but I don't necessarily want to do a full scrapbook page on. Like these are all unrelated photos. So would I do them? I mean, some of these are like, this is in his Halloween page. This is on his, that would have been his 8-month, I believe, birthday of 8 months. So just a random thing, but I really loved it. And I'm going to put a link down below to Heba's website and her videos. I think you would really enjoy it if you like smaller projects and you just want to, sort of like a traveler's notebook, I guess. It's just a little bit bigger than that. I believe this is a A4 or A5 size. It's a half of a 8.5 by 11. I never remember those A sizes. There's also a template, a Photoshop template that you can get from Krystal. Now I'm going to say this wrong, I'm sure, but I pronounce that Idunate. It's I-D-N-A-T-I. Oh, no, there's a U in there. I-D-U-N-A-T-I. I don't know how she pronounces it. I'm really sorry, Krystal. I'm going to say Idunate, but it could be something totally different. She has an Etsy shop and she sells a template, Photoshop templates. And so this is the digital one that I purchased from her Etsy shop, and different ways to lay out. So these are the original designs that go in the book. But then she also has templates if you would like to make the, you know, merge the blocks and make different sizes. So there's a lot of choices on there. So I'll link that below as well. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I look forward to putting out some more videos soon, and have a great day.